Hi, Scott Beardsley with TubularFitness.com. I'm going to show you a series of exercises that will help you to release tension and feel very relaxed throughout your body. I call these end of range of motion exercises contractions. They're static contractions because when you're doing the actual contraction for the exercise, you're not doing any motion. I'll give you an example. We'll do this again a little bit later, but just as an example, if I were doing an arm curl, and I come all the way up to the top, my arm can't move any further, but I go ahead and I continue to contract my bicep as if I were going to try and pull my arm in even further. And I'm going to do that for 5 seconds with any of these closing motions with the bicep, the hamstrings, the calf muscle. Be careful because these muscles can tighten up and it can kind of sneak up on you how a muscle can all of a sudden start to cramp. So just be aware of that. In conditioning the muscle, in doing these exercises repeatedly, you start to feel more relaxed with them. You're going to develop less of a tendency of cramping. If you do start to feel a cramp, just release that contraction and just be aware of the fact that you just want to gently press in toward the end of the range of motion, but not push all the way into the range of the motion if you're feeling your muscles start to cramp up. Okay, starting with the neck, and your cervical spine runs up the back of your neck, very fragile area of the spine, susceptible to injury. You need to be aware of and be deciding whether you're capable of doing these safely. If you have any question, talk with your health professional about your spine's ability, your body's ability to be able to do these exercises. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm under control. I'm not just letting my head drop back. Under control, I'm moving my head backward, and when it gets to the very back, I go ahead and press on into that. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I bring my head forward. When I reach the end of the range of motion, I continue pressing into it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Come up to center, drop off to one side or the other. 2, 3, 4, 5. Come across to the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5. You may hear some snapping or popping or cracking. As long as it's just a subtle sound you're hearing and you're not feeling any sharp pain, you're usually going to be okay. But again, you're responsible for how your body's handling these movements. Okay, now I'm going to rotate my head off to one side or the other. 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back across and face the other direction. 2, 3, 4, 5. And that just creates a nice relaxed feeling in the neck. Now let's go on down to the arms. I'm going to start with the wrist. So I'm going to go ahead and contract forward. I'm going to bring the palm of my hand up and forward when it reaches the end of the motion as if I were doing a wrist curl. 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to open all the way up. Let my wrist even drop back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to let my wrist rock one direction or the other. I'm going to rock out first. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then go ahead and let the wrist rock the opposite direction. I'm rocking in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to go back to that arm curl that I demonstrated right up front. Bring it all the way up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Be careful of cramping. Go ahead and open the arm all the way up and keep pressing into that contraction. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and let my arm rotate either in or out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let it rotate gently back the other direction. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to work the shoulder joint and the range of motion of the shoulder girdle here. Go ahead and with your arms to your side, just bring them straight out to the side. When I get up to the top, my palms are facing out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I keep them out because if I came in, then I can cross, and it's just easier to reach this natural stopping point. Okay, come on in. I'm going to go ahead and let my arms go to the back, and if you don't bend your arm, you're going to reach a natural stopping point right as your arm gets right about even with the sides. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring my arms out in front of me. Let them come across all the way and back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring them forward. You're not going to get around your arms crossing in this one. Just let one arm cross above the other. 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, now there's a stopping point. If you were at work and you just wanted to take a quick 5 minutes to go through a series of exercises that could just release that tension from your shoulder and your neck, this is a good way to just do something during your break that can allow you to come back and be nice and relaxed, or more relaxed, to get on with your daily work activities or whatever you were doing. But if you want a little bit more, I'm going to go ahead and move on down to the waist here. I'm going to keep my lower back straight as I bend forward. I'm not letting my lower back round out. I'm keeping my back relatively straight. There's going to be a little bit of rounding going on. You can either let your hand rest on the front of your thigh, 2, 3, 4, 5, or let your hands be free. You can even let your arms drop down. See, this is good to differentiate. You don't want to be all tight everywhere. So if you can relax your shoulders while you're contracting, you know, this area of your body, or your hip area, you're doing good at kind of gaining some control over your body. Now I'm going to bend backward. Now I'm not bending at the knee to see how far back, like doing the limbo. I'm keeping my knees relatively straight, not locked, but just straight. Keeping my hips stable and facing forward. Just letting my body drop gently off backward a little bit. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I go ahead and square myself up centered again. And let myself drop off one side or the other, keeping my shoulders squared up, facing forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. Come across the other direction. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to twist at the hip, and I'm not going to let my hip rotate on my hip joints and let my legs twist into this. I'm going to try and keep my hips relatively square and facing forward. As I twist around one side or the other, the contraction's taking place just above your waist. 2, 3, 4, 5, and around your lower back area. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now you've relaxed your entire hip and your lower back area. Now we're going to go into the legs. It's probably best if you have a chair, if you have a wall that you can gently be having your hand resting against, just to keep your balance. You can go ahead and do these, you know, just going ahead and keeping your balance as you do these. But if that's distracting you at all from what you should be focusing on, which is these gentle contractions, then go ahead and just allow yourself to have some stability with a chair or a wall. Okay, legs straight, go ahead and bring it forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing special going on with the ankle. It can be relatively relaxed as you do this. Now swing on through back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the other leg coming up and forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let your legs swing on through and to the back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now back to the other leg to come on out to the side. 2, 3, 4, 5. You may need to turn around if your foot's going to kick into the wall or a chair or whatever. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and move into the knee joint, and this is another one where I need to be careful about the hamstring not tightening up too much. Just be aware of that. If it starts to cramp up, let that contraction go. 4, 5. Now go ahead and straighten my leg out as if I were doing leg extensions. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now with the other knee, I go ahead and let it bend. 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and extend at the knee. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we go ahead and work on down to the ankle joint. Go ahead and bring your toes up as if you were bringing your toe up to your shin. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now go ahead and point your toe, and here again be careful of that calf muscle. Now tightening up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now with the other ankle joint, bring the other toe up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and point that other toe. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to let the ankle rock out, either in or out. I'm going to rock out first. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I let it go ahead and rock on in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Other ankle, let it go ahead and rock out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on in. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then to finish it off, I'm just going to go ahead and rotate the leg either in or out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the opposite direction. 2, 3, 4, 5. And all you really need is to be up high enough where you're getting a little bit of clearance off the ground. Bring the other leg up. 2, 3, 4, 5. And rotate it the opposite direction. 2, 3, 4, 5. And there you have it, a series of exercises that you can do. Again, this isn't meant to be developing power or strength. This is just for the purpose of releasing tension and creating a nice relaxed feeling throughout your body. So at any point in the day where you want to take a little short break, release some tension, be able to get back to your daily activities, or even just before bed, it is fine to be able to do this to really relax your body and allow you to move on in a much more comfortable and relaxed manner.